me jump over to where I think most people will be coming into my base, and for some reason my rockets aren't launching. Oh, it's because I don't have a light jar or anything on. There we go. Alright guys, so here's my base on Prowls Patreon server. Once again, check him out over on Patreon. He streams on YouTube and Twitch. This is my base, which I've only been on here for a couple months now. Haven't really done anything too much because I knew we were going to reset the server for the update. My little starter house, you know, you gotta start somewhere. I think I pulled the bed out of here. Mending for life, just, you know, because everyone should be on the mending team. Did I see a creeper in there? I may have. Where is my audio? Cannot hear it. Oh well, that's kind of a bummer. Let me run back to a safe place and see if I can fix the audio. Oh yeah, that's right. I turned the audio off because I was getting feedback loops. Alright, there we go. There's some audio. I don't normally actually play with audio because I get most of my gaming done when my wife's asleep. So, you know, I can't really listen to a whole bunch. That's right, I need to finish that pathway off. So, you know, little pathway into your starter base. Just some decoration. You got a nether wart farm. I was gonna do a big old nether wart or a red nether brick tower and never got around to it. Here is my main base building. Just kind of went with a basic storage room for this season, just because I knew I wasn't gonna get too far with everything. All manual storage. Once again, knew I wasn't gonna be on here too long, so didn't really go for anything automatic. I use a wonderful add-on of the totem hider. If anyone hasn't seen that, it literally makes your totem invisible, which the totem bugs me. I love the effect, hate how it looks. So yeah, basic any crop farm, stick anything in there you want, really. Cows. Did somebody breed my cows? No. I have a lava fountain, which I designed to drop little lava blades, which is pretty entertaining. Surprisingly not that laggy, which is nice, even though there's so many falling into these. Actually, I don't think those get counted as entities. So up here we got a couple food farms. This is my cow farm. Just go through here and feed your cows. You can see down there, the babies just kind of drop out. And they'll fall down into a kill chamber. And then I also have a... Wow, those guys are loud. Let me turn that volume down so you can hear more than just cows. Let's try maybe that, because that is blaring in my ears. I don't know about you guys. Then I also have the basic chicken cooker. Was going to implement foxes. Unfortunately, we discovered that once you tame a fox, they don't work as much. So we ended up just kind of forgoing that and doing the standard lava chicken cooker, which then gets pulled down into that minecart hopper, down into some minecarts, and then gets shot out of the dropper and into the food stream. Up here under all this is the timing circuit for, oh man, why did I do that? The timing circuit for a fountain. It's, I want to say it's on a 1 second timer or a 1 second basis, which gave the lava a nice drop down effect. Oh no, did I just place a slab in there? No, I didn't. So yeah, one of the things I really wanted to go for was kind of that nether brick artifacty look with this build, and I'd like to say that I accomplished it. Oh, I just flew way farther than I meant to. I really liked the red glass side. Oh wow, I never do that. I can never take off on the first go. Of course I do it for the stream. So yeah, I really enjoy that. Gives you nice sky access to see what is going on outside. I was going to actually put an enchanting room up in the top there with the beacon still shooting out, but just something I never really got around to. Kind of got pulled into a few other projects a little more. So here's a little fox room that Guru Plant was nice enough to build me. I purchased some foxes from him when I was intending on doing the fox cooker, or the chicken cooker, the fox powered chicken cooker. That's a lot to say, but it didn't end up working out. Come on, foxes, I don't want you out here. Oh, we're not doing this. You go back that way. Come on. Good, you just run away. Yeah, and then what's next? What else have I done in this world? Oh yeah, my furnace array. So zero ticking causes so much lag with 30 different people playing, and we're all fairly technical players, so it gets a little convoluted with the lag. So I went with a bone meal powered bamboo farm to power my furnace array, and it looks like once again my minecart has disappeared. So apparently I must have built this like on a chunk border or something, because I did not check prior. But here, let me turn the fuel on for you guys and just see how fast this thing really goes. I don't know if you can hear it. Yeah, I mean, this is a 8-site bamboo farm powered by, so it's pretty much a 1-tick bamboo powered farm, and I mean, this thing absolutely crushes it. And then I put a feedback loop on it, which we'll just let this run for a little while, and it'll actually start looping all the way around, which is kind of cool. So it recycles the fuel over time. And then what's nice is you can actually just jump in that water stream with some string and supplement your fuel with scaffolding, which if you've watched any of Silent Whispers videos, they found out that scaffolding is actually one of the easiest fuels in this game, especially if you have a string farm, either like a spider spawner or an iron farm, and you're just killing cats left and right. It works out really well. It takes 3 pieces of bamboo to smelt 1 item, or one scaffolding actually smelts, I think, 20 items, something like that. Oh, there, and you can start to see bamboo starting to get recycled. So I'll go turn that off so I don't waste too much, because that does just crank through that bone meal. Let's see if I have anything to smell. Oh god, what does it smell? Stone. And then just push the button. Timer loop sends it out. How'd that get there? I knew I lost a piece of redstone somewhere. I was looking for that for like 5 minutes the other day. And I don't have any iron. I'll just throw a hopper line down there. Yeah, because that's what I want. I think I had a bunch of hoppers in here. Somebody on the server has a wonderful redstone shop, which allows me to not have to spend so much iron on all of my projects, because it is an absurd amount, and I might have gotten that one wrong. Did I get that? No, I got that right. Alright, not the most efficient. I was getting pretty decent rates with the minecart, but it comes in fairly fast. And that's just 10 furnaces. No, what, 6 and 6, 12 furnaces. And that fuel will just loop around continuously until it gets used up, or it despawns, which is pretty nice. Generally, I don't let it recycle too much, so I'll generally, once I see that starting, I'll turn the fuel system off, because it smells a fair amount. So as you can see, I just put 3 stacks in for 12 furnaces, so it really only took a couple minutes. If that, no, that was maybe like 30 seconds. One thing I would like to improve on is getting that minecart to stay afterwards. I haven't had any problems with it despawning, but with entity despawn, it's not very fun if it does. So I also did a couple zero-tick booster farms. I built the bamboo one initially just to fill everything, because that was taking a while and I hadn't had my bone meal or my skeleton spawner set up yet, so I didn't have ample amounts of bone meal. So ran that in the background while I was building something else, and it filled it up pretty quick. But then I was also doing a bone meal farm at the same time. So this is a co-fuel bone meal farm. This is zero-tick sugar cane. So on this server we have a limit to if we are going to do any zero-ticking while anyone's online, we have a 2-plant zero-tick limit. So 2-plant bamboo, 2-plant sugar cane. We cannot run both of those at once on this server. Well, we can, but if anyone else is online, we're pretty polite on the server. So I said co-fuel. This is the second half of that fuel. Of course, you know, kelp sucks on bedrock and has a weird age entity spawn limit, and so this just freezes up after a little while, and unfortunately it just stops working. So that's no fun, but you know, gotta try. So what else do I got here? Shortcut down to the furnace room, and I'm running out of hunger already. You can see that fuel is just still looping. Actually, let me put those back in my redstone box, because I will lose those and I will not know where they went, and that sucks because I'm forgetful. Alright, so what else do we got down here? Oh yeah, my beacons. I got a nice little hidden door, so much that I even forgot to show you guys that hidden door. So my beacons are, it's super rare, but every once in a while I get a stupid spider that spawns in here. And I'm not sure where he spawns. I think he's spawning on like the backside of a stair up there or something, because everything's pretty well lit in here. I know it's like maybe kind of dark right there, but I don't think it counts. The other option is he's maybe spawning outside, and because there's a bunch of stair in this build that he kind of merges through. So yeah, nice little hidden. I was actually going to turn this into a vault and beacon room. I did a dropper clock for the push open door, accessible from inside or outside, so if you want to hide yourself in here, it's just pretty kind of view. So it's just a basic double beacon. Didn't have enough emeralds to quite finish it out, but I liked it nonetheless. Got the water elevators to get to and from in case you want to change out what they're doing. I was actually going to upgrade this to 4 beacon, but just never got around to it with the timing left on the server. So, and this is actually also my shortcut to my mines, which is just a kind of basic strip mine down here. I've done quite a bit of, they're always where you don't want them, quite a bit of strip mining on the server. I think in the few months that I played, I ended up with maybe 4 or 5 stacks of diamonds, which was kind of nice. I think right now, because I just spent a massive amount of diamonds out at Simba's wood shop, and was able to buy all the wood and more that I ever really needed. Why is that floating like that? Didn't I have walls here? Huh. Interesting. So yeah, so I was able to buy a bunch of wood from Simba to work on a big tree project that you might have seen as we came in. Yeah, I really went like all, tried to grab as much out of that 11 and even lower when possible. I was looking for so much lapis this season, and we just, oh man, it was crazy. I think we needed 716 blocks for a prank that we pulled on saber dentures. Actually, maybe the whole Crimson Council, but it was fun. Me and Arena changed out all the banners on their tower in the shopping district. So yeah, I left Prowl a map. He actually did a tour last night or the night before. You know, got to show off a little bit, diamond block and a map. Got a bunch of cats. I was actually a cat dealer this season and had a whole shop based around selling cats, and only sold a few, but a very entertaining idea. It was not something that I'd ever really seen anyone do on anyone else's videos, servers, streams. Just not really something that I saw. Ooh, okay. Don't think I even have any arrows. Alright, there's a cat right there. Why is he coming after me? We're scared of cats. So this was the project I kind of finished. I did one more project after this, but this was my big project for this season. I built an ice boat track. We had a couple videos done on it, a couple streams done on it. Pretty entertaining. I'm going to be doing quite a big one next season on the new server. Hello? Okay, where did you come from? Alright, well, you want to come on an ice boat race? Let's go. Alright, so 3, 2, 1, and those water elevators were probably the hardest thing to get dialed in. They were very jerky in all of their actions. I'd seen a couple people make ice boat tracks before, but they were always relatively flat. I really wanted to go above and beyond and create a track that I hadn't seen before. It's funny that they get hurt by the less fall distance than us. I guess I have armor on. So yeah, when I first built this track, people were getting launched out of the glass walls when they were getting in and out of boats, getting stuck in water streams, and I think by the end of it, we were able to, oh yep, there's one of there is one of the things that would happen is you kind of drown in your boat and get kicked out of your boat, and I was able to fix that on most of them. The longer ones, it's a little more challenging. Yep, so there's a lap of that. Go back to first person view. So the very last project I worked on this season was this all tree over here. Simba had a massive sale on wood. She's trying to clear out her whole inventory before the end of the season, and that kind of let me finally try something that I've been meaning to try for a long time, which was making a tree out of every type of wood. And it was an interesting concept. I think I did okay. Let me know what you guys think. Where's a good view of this? Hello, Mr. Drowned. That was probably the craziest part of building this whole project, was just the sheer amount of drowns that I had to deal with, especially in that underwater section over there. It was, you know, a couple minutes of building and drowns respawn and have to deal with that all over again. So yeah, I might touch it up a little bit on the bottom, but we're restarting on Tuesday. It's Thursday today, I think, so I don't know that I'll really end up having time for it. Quick preview of my iron farm while we scope this out from the sky. So as you can see, I kind of got each of the types of wood in there. Oh, and that's the tree. I'll show you it from above. I think I did decent on the tree pattern. It was a little concerning when I first finished all the layering. I hadn't done all these top sections of the leaves, and if you ever do a tree like this, those are what make this tree work. And then maybe even doing those on the bottom side of the undershowing layers. So if you can see, if I go up to the top here, looking down, I kind of did it on all the outside layers that you could see from above. There's a couple spots in torches where I actually changed how I started putting in torches towards like third, fourth row. But I think it makes it look a lot better. I wonder if I have any leaves up here still, and I'll just redo that one real quick. No. Oh, yep, there we go. Go back up. Leaves, torches, combine those, because that was a weird size stack. What level is that on? This one or one below? I think it was one below. Yeah, here we go. So what I ended up doing was something like this. Now that hides that pretty well. And gives you a little more depth to your whole tree. So I'm not going to go through and do that all right now because I think this tree took me at least a couple hours. Once I really started figuring out what I was going to do, it got a lot easier. Whoa. Sorry, just checking a few things. Our Discord's been going crazy lately, figuring out everything for the new season. Yeah, I think that's more or less all that's on my main island. I think overall the composition worked pretty well for it. Next season I'll be building a lot closer to a few people, and I think it's going to lead to some really interesting collaborative builds. We got a bunch of videos planned for you guys, and it should be overall a pretty good time. So here is my iron farm, and this was another thing that I had major problems with. Test built this all in creative, worked, got them in this building over here, which is what I tested in creative, and it all failed. This though has been working great for me. The added benefit of the villagers being able to get to their beds really allows them to sink easily. Having all the beds in the spawn area of where your golems would need to spawn really allows for the versatility of them swapping beds, because if you've played this game, if you've dealt with villagers, you know villagers are a pain in the butt. So this is the kill chamber in my iron farm. I don't know that if it's gonna start dropping anything. There we go. So I'm dropping cats, so that means it's working. This is also where I was acquiring my cats, because we had the same issue with cats, or well, not the same issue, but you can't breed somebody else's cats and have them make you a cat. So what I was doing was taking unbred cats out of my iron farm, grabbing them in a minecart, taking them to the nether. And it did not take me to the right place because my nether portals aren't linked properly. I actually had to disable that whole portal when I was working on that. And there's probably a gas up here, and it's gonna blow a bunch of stuff up and be annoying. Oh my god, there are two of them up here. That's not fun. And did I attack any pigmen? Doesn't look like it. Alright, got off pretty good on that one. Where? I don't see it. So here's my cat portal. Maybe I'll take you guys over there later on. What do I have to show you? Yeah, I'll show you my skeleton spawner design, which allowed me to, yeah, it takes me back to the right place, but doesn't drop me off to the right place. So one of the reasons I put the iron farm right here is because I found a skeleton spawner, luckily flying over with lag, you know, see through the ground, and was like, oh, that's right there. It's not an X-ray glitch if the game forces you to do it, right? So we have a light switch in there, which kind of works for making them stop spawning. You can see as I pull the light away, they start to spawn, and they will try to shoot me. Let's cap that back off. And so what I would do is, looks like I've already robbed this of all the bones, but just jump in here. We're right inside the spawn range for iron golems. They spawn inside your normal spawn radius, which I believe on this server and bedrock is 54 blocks. So as long as your whole iron farm is within 54 blocks, it works quite nice. I got a nice trident killer, so I don't actually have to do anything here. I can literally just leave this running, and it will just crush skeletons for me, which is wonderful. They do get stuck up on the ice. I just count on the skeleton behind him to kind of push him through. And we'll turn that light back on so we're not getting too many spawns in there. Yeah, I'll go down and check it out. Down is this side. So I used, I think, Silence Design. I don't know if he copied it from someone else, but essentially you just create a diamond around your spawner, 7 out from the spawner, and push them outside of the spawn radius, up and into a killer. You need to stand inside of the activation radius, but it works pretty well. I did have it set up in a different direction, but unfortunately my AFK spot wasn't inside the activation range, so I had to change that. But not too bad at the end of the day. Nice thing about having your farm all the way over here, at least your iron farm, is you can have beds at your base. Because if you've ever done an iron farm, oh, that's not what I want. I don't want, there's actually a creeper right there. I have not encountered a charged creeper in this server yet. Not something I really want to deal with. Oh, please don't tell me it's gonna blow. I'm just gonna leave. What's next? Let me take you down the cat pathway, because that's just about the rest of what I've built on this server. I did build a statue. One of the first things I actually built on this island, just kind of claiming the island as my own. Let's go to sleep. I don't think anyone else is on the server, so nobody needs a thunderstorm. And we will run back to the nether. We'll take the shortcut. We'll go and we'll walk. I just made this path the other day for prowls, so I knew where to go. So I haven't really used it that much and kind of like it. Oh, that's kind of trippy, the no footsteps over the lily pads. So my cat portal is over here. This is actually where my old nether portal was. I had hijacked somebody's portal just because it happened to be exactly where my portal needed to be. So I was actually able to tunnel right through his portal, and I put a door just on the other side of his portal, and it allowed me to access mine perfectly. Oh, please tell me you got the baby pigman. Yes. So for cats, I'd paddle them down the catwalk, take the corner, and there's a ghast like in the wall somewhere over there. I've been hearing them as I've been taking my nether portal to the shopping district. So from here, you kind of, Jesus, that's terrifying. So from here, you get them in, boat them into here, shut the doors on them, and then break the boat and lure them over with the fish. And then as soon as they spawn over here, I believe this actually takes me right to my shop. Yeah. So it takes them to my shop over here. Put a boat in here before you take the cat over, and you wind up with a cat in a boat. Looks like I sold 2 cats. since, oh no, I already collected on those. First money, because you know, you gotta be proud of yourself. Got the lava lighting, which I absolutely love. Obsidian crosses for the Shadow Empire. And here's our shopping district. So here is my shop. I think it was only fitting that a shop that sells cats is a cat. What was that? Where was that? Don't know. We've had a lot of creeper problems in this shopping district. Especially me, because I don't play with sound quite often. And they like to sneak up on me. And I had to repair quite a bit. Like, let me guess. Oh, did they actually fix it? It looks like they actually fixed it. Yeah, I had a big explosion in front of this is Saber and Logan's food shop. When I was building my base, this is the bed that I would hijack during the night. Secret base number 7. I wonder how many of them I actually found, because I did find quite a few. It'll be a fun scavenger hunt on this server once it's on the world download. Well, here, let me take you to where most people enter from. So here is Spawn Village. You can see who set off a raid. Oh man, that's fun. I'm just gonna ignore that. So you could see Simba's courthouse off in the distance, which was pretty cool. I just explored that the other day. I hadn't had a lot of time to do any exploring in here. There's actually a bounty out right now to bring some zombies over here. I don't think that I'm gonna go about that, just because I'm not the best. I haven't really looked around this place actually. Wraith is the one of the commanding members of the Shadow Empire. It's funny, he has a grave in here. Rip, I told you I was sick. I wonder how long that's been there. If it's quarantine old or prior to that. We do have a ghast in here. Apparently he used to be up in the sky, but not so much anymore. Oh, look at that, you can see his name. This is Gus the Ghast. And then we have some weird entity blocks that you can pull around with a fishing pole. If you've ever played with those, there's some fun mini games you can do. So this is our shopping district. That is actually Spawn right there in the graveyard. So this was my first view of this whole server. I did not start when the server started, so it was a little different for me. That was the Crimson Council Tower. As you can see, Prowl shot it so hard that the banners changed. I know I don't really have any documentation of the old banners, but they were some pretty basic Crimson Council banners. Let me see if I can go find one. Shadow Empire, which is Team Mending, which is, you know, the winning team. There we go. Crimson Council. How boring is that? Look, Shadow Empire banner, awesome, detailed. Crimson Council banner. Blech. But yeah, so that was my first view of this whole server. I was lucky enough to have an admin tour me and another new Patreon around on our first day here, and that was wonderful. Really got to learn the lay of the land. Here in the shopping district, there's all sorts of stuff going on. I think a couple of my favorite shops, I think design-wise, Wraith shop, I think, is wonderful. It's nice and compact, very thematic, which I think some of the builds on here are lacking, but what can you do? It's, you know, it's Minecraft. People are going to build what they're going to build. Not to say that any of them are bad builds. but there are a few that are a little more thematic than the rest, like Carrot. I mean, it definitely holds up to it being Carrot, but then you think, oh, what do they sell? Carrots? No, it's redstone. Don't get me wrong, this is where I buy my redstone. It just kind of threw me off that it was called Carrot. Another cool idea for a shop was Wraith's shop, and what he does in here is he actually sells items by the shulker. So you put a diamond block in here, you go to the page of the things you want to buy. Ooh, he actually sells emeralds quite cheap. I don't know if that's like a full. I should have bought him from him. Oh well. So yeah, that's his diamond block shop, his bulk buy shop, which is kind of cool. You put a diamond block in the payment, switch to the page you want, press the button, bing bang boom, shulker shows up in there, and Bob's your uncle. Got a shulker full of stuff. Saber's redstone shop, I think. I didn't really ever utilize any of this because I won't say I'm good at redstone, but I'm alright at it. I figured it out. I was an electrician for a long time, so it's, it's wiring. It's not too hard. Let's see, another couple cool shops that I really enjoyed were, where is it? Oh, right over here. This is the boom shop. I think it's just the most adorable little torch ever. He sells all things that go boom, TNT, gunpowder, rockets, and then he was even nice enough to throw some assorted goods in there. And I think he even gave me a good for one purchase at Boom. Don't really need any more rockets. I got quite a bit of those. Ooh. Should I blow something up? Maybe I should just blow something up. I think I gotta do that. 32. What should I blow up, guys? What should I blow up? Okay, I'll walk you around the shopping district a little more. I love Simba's build on this. I think it was maybe a little bigger than it needed to be for just a wood shop. Don't get me wrong, I literally cleaned out her entire shop when she said wood went on sale. But I think there's a lot of down room in here. I think next season we might be charging for shops, kind of like what Hermitcraft does. It's either like a 10 by 10 or a one chunk area for a diamond block, and you put those kind of into the pile. Those pile can maybe help pay for new player bundles or big projects. I know our admin actually paid somebody to do this one. I think it was 3 stacks of diamond, and I think it came out amazing. What's funny is our admin is Team Infinity, which is obviously the worst bow enchantment you can get, and the person who accepted the bid for the job is a quote mending bow user. Guru, you know who you are. And he was good enough to troll the admin and put a mending bow on the giant statue of Prowl, which, if you watched any of Prowl's video, he's pretty vocal on it, but he's an avid mending bow user. Because, why would you use an infinity bow? If you can aim, there's no reason to use infinity, just get a better bow. I think there's a secret door in here somewhere. Push the button, opens up, double piston extender, and Shadow Empire. Saber, I hope you like the statue of Prowl you commissioned. It seems, however, as a proud member of Team Mending, he has taken a dislike to your infinite tower. I always knew I liked Prowl. Just kind of poking a little bit of fun at him. Prowl being a mending bow user, and his own admin not even agreeing with him. So, you know, what can you do? But yeah, I was able to watch Guru put this up, and it was, I mean, crazy. He put that up in, I think, a couple hours. I know that he designed it on creative first, but like, look at all the texturing and the pants. Look at all that magenta glass paint that he put around that whole bow. Just crazy. And actually, I think even Guru has a really interesting build perspective, and something that I don't really actually see in a lot of places. I want to say this is his shop as well, and it's a shop that you never really see anything like this. So he sells coral and ice blocks, and I think maybe sea pickles in here, or I think the lighting store might be next door, which was a shop that I could not find for forever. Yeah, it's quite tucked away. What's funny is when I was looking for this lighting store, I even like tried to go in there, and that's just the signifier for down here, which is the lighting store, which I actually really enjoy. Instead of, you know, putting the signs on everything, putting item frames on everything, he actually put the blocks down in front, which I really liked. Kind of gives you a little more feel for everything that's going on. So there's a bunch of shops here. I won't go through them all. There's the Shadow, or no, that's the Crimson Council's beacon tower, which somebody covered with sand, so we're not getting the beacon boost anymore. Interesting. So here is Wraith's fireworks shop. Fireworks in fireworks, which is always nice. It'll let you know where to go pretty easily. What else? Here is we are calling this the Bounty Center. So like that statue of Prowl that was commissioned, the bounty was placed in here. So now this is where the Prowl one was. Saber, like I said, see, somebody wanted a bounty for 10 zombies in the graveyard. 1 diamond block per zombie, and diamond blocks to take. Once you get your zombies into there, does he need more? No, he just hasn't grabbed it all yet. I was one of the first people to come across Saber's bounty for all of these things. I don't even know if he's going to get to use all this supply, seeing as we're restarting on Tuesday, and he's been busy working on all the add-ons for our new server. We're hopefully going to get all of the same ones as Truly Bedrock, a lot of Foxy's. We're getting, I think, the mob heads. We got one player sleep, which is on this server as well, which is just fantastic, especially with 30 people on it. Really isn't conducive if everyone has to go to sleep at the same time. I think we're getting a few others. I think we're getting camera accounts. Can't remember anything else off the top of my head, but it's gonna be fun. So yeah, that's our bounty center. We also have our mailboxes, which community mail center is quite nice. Put things in your box, they light up. Someone you know when you got mail. Boom, now I have mail. I check my mail pretty frequently compared to some of the other people on the server. The server has gotten a little quiet since the reset was announced. I think a lot of people are saving their builds for next season. You know, it's hard to commit to something when it's just gonna get reset in a few weeks anyway. That being said, I think that's going to be the end of my stream and video for today. I don't really have anywhere else that I have built. If you guys want to check out some of the other players' builds, let me know, leave a comment. As always, like and subscribe this video. If you're listening to this on Twitch, know that I'm going to be putting this on YouTube, and I'm hoping to not have to re-record the sound. So that's that. Alright guys, have a great day, and I will talk to you guys all later.